All right, guys, there you go. Let me repost the link here. All right, guys. Yeah, we're gonna be taking a break, and we will be back later. Alrighty, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and unmute. Let's run over here. Oh, thank you, Queen. That's. How are you already at 3 months? You literally just subbed with Prime, like. What? That's crazy. Oh, it's how many months in a row that you're subbed, not just like how many times you've actually subscribed. Okay, that makes sense, yeah. Sorry. I feel that. Ryan, we are unmuted. I am not at my desk, though. I'm wrapping up my burritos, or chungus. No, I made chorizo and egg tacos. Yeah, we are unmuted, yes. I am not at my thing, though, and everybody's finishing up the puzzle right now. I just figured we were going to wait a little bit longer till you got back, and then we could get going in just a sec. Alright. Oh, Zuko. My... Welcome back. I am back, guys. What? You're joking. You're joking. Guess what, guys? So we will be actually starting in 2 minutes so that these ads can be done. I guess. It just told me that I had to go play some ads. There's ads going. Oh no. Hold up. Alrighty. What, did you finish it? Or did you spill it? Hot. Hot. So much grease. Terrifying. I was not expecting my tacos to be that greasy. Holy cow. Also, that's spicy. Oh no. Alrighty. Alright, guys. Yeah. I'm just chilling for a sec. I got a minute 20 on them. Yeah. GG's. You want to see some real speed? I'll show you some real speed. That's funny. Thank you. You hover over what, guys? Sorry, I got a little distracted. Ah. Understood. So, guys, chat, how are you doing? I see that the puzzle is coming along very nicely. Let me make that big. Yeah. So, let's go ahead and do a little intro for this. So guys, this is what podcast number 2. We still don't have a name for our podcast, but um, we're we're kind of just doing notes and news about noteworthy news about the gaming industry. Uh, f- First, we also hate gaming. So I, so me personally, I play a lot of PC, and I would say I guess I'm leaning into the Xbox Game Pass on PC, but I do a lot more PC and uh, Switch, Nintendo for my games. Yep. Actually, yeah, I feel that. I like, yeah. That's funny. Minecraft moment. Mm-hmm. It's so bright. Right. Oh yeah. Nice. Oh wait. Oh, for the surprise release. I saw that though. I actually saw that coming, honestly. I'm feeling Dragon Drive as they are kind of like a what is it called? The game where it's cars and soccer mixed together. Rocket League. And honestly, it feels like Rocket League. And that's my point. Is if it feels like Rocket League, I was leaning on the lower end already. I was thinking somewhere between $20 and $30 just off rip because yes, it is a bigger game or it's a bigger company, right? That was making this. Like that's the only reason. Like I would have said, oh, it should have been free to play, but it's not. Yes, multi. Somebody said it was too easy. Arms. Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel that. I hear that. Yeah. Guys, I did put a easier puzzle up for you guys to do if you wish to do a puzzle. But yes, Spiky, and Bulborb, the new Dragon Drive game is going to be wheelchairs and soccer. That is the concept that they're going for. Basketball? Oh, not soccer. Wheelchair basketball. That would have been really awkward. Yeah, replace the pin. Yeah, yeah. I feel that. Like, even if I don't play it much. Try out. See, nah, so Multi's like, I'm so pumped for Dragon Drive, but I think nobody will be getting this, to be honest, just because of the late release and lack of promo. And I think that's something that should be addressed a little bit. Is like, this game has promise, and the fact that it needs to be promoted more, in all honesty. I think that seeing this kind of game, especially where it's like that the main core of the game is not typically done like this, and so it would be a really, it can either go really well or really bad depending on how they end up doing it. We haven't seen a whole lot of like actual gameplay. We've only seen like the cinematic trailer of gameplay. So it's gonna be when they, what was the release date on that again? So we have what, 2 months for them to promote this a little bit more and start trying to get this out there. Like, hey guys, this is a game that's going to be out. I think that if more people played it, it could pick up a lot of steam. A lot of people like sports games, and this is basically like I said, it's like Rocket League. Yeah, the pay. What are you guys?
Oh, yeah, I checked and we're muted.
Thank you. Sorry,
Yeah,
guys. I'm
yeah,
so
we were
sorry.
muted the
Okay,
entire
so
time.
recap.
Okay, cool.
Dragon
Yeah.
Drive is Dragon Drive is coming out. It's basically wheelchairs with soccer. And could you guys give
Basketball.
your basketball with soccer? Basketball with wheelchair. You guys just go ahead and repeat
Basketball
your
and
quick,
soccer.
yeah, repeat your quick thing of like your both your takes about the game.
Go ahead,
Uh,
Wilson.
oh yeah, pretty much. I am looking forward to the game. Right, the fact that it's $20 is pretty cool. Nintendo doesn't really do full price or eShop size, bite size game releases like that ever since the DS era, right? So the fact it's you know lower price indicates to me that hey, Nintendo's like once again experimenting with I don't like to quote Doug Bowser, but variable pricing, right? Looks like they're actually might be considering having a different array of pricing schemes for the game, which is kind of cool. But the fact that the
Yeah.
marketing isn't really there kind of speaks to me that like, yeah, Nintendo knows what they expect in terms of sales, and that's why it's priced at that.
Yeah.
But I think not just Dragon Drive, but I guess it's gonna be a different topic later on. But like Nintendo's marketing in general in the past month or two has been kind of odd.
I
Not gonna lie,
agree.
Yep.
I feel that.
kind of direct, but looks like they're trying to like skew the release dates and the general trailers to Nintendo today and leave directs to be more grandiose.
It
But I don't
feels
know.
like
Yeah.
that. Like they're announcing
Yeah.
things on the app, and then when it comes to the direct, they're more. It's like here's new, or here's dropping over here. We want you over here, but we're gonna also give you more detail here. So a lot of things I feel like
Yeah.
people are gonna hear about it, and they're gonna be like fake news, and then they're gonna see it in the direct and be like, "Oh, it was leaked." No, guys, you just aren't looking in
Now
the
it's
right
Nintendo today.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not
Just
looking where
gotta
you
use
need to
the
do.
app.
Here
And it
we
doesn't
go
really
I
and
think
help
talk
that's
about.
too, because Nintendo today, they really shot themselves in the foot with this one. Because the first like a month or so it was fire, because like yeah, notifs and you
yeah.
could share info, and
Oh
then
yeah,
they randomly push an update where like now it's DRM'd. You can't screenshot or screen record
Yep.
what they show in the app anymore, which is really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
that
Really,
is.
really dumb. Really bad decision, I think, on Nintendo's
And
part. Doesn't make
share
any sense to
button,
me.
I
like you
I'm
can't even
curious
share
as
it.
to why they're doing that. But
I don't know.
Ryan, what was your feel on Dragon Drive? I'm
Oh,
getting
Dragon
yelled.
Drive,
Yeah, I'm being yelled
it
at to stop calling
looks
it soccer. By the way.
no. It looks good. It looks fun. And my whole thing was I'm very surprised it's a $20 game.
Yeah.
Because we had
Mhm.
the expectation, at least Wilson and I kind of could see the same thing,
Yeah.
that we saw it was going to be another ARMS.
Yeah.
Because ARMS came out as the gimmick game at $60.
Ew.
And
What?
so I was like, yeah,
Really?
it was $60 game.
And
Yeah.
we didn't
Oh
have an
my
arms
God.
too. I wonder why.
I wonder
And
why.
because nobody ended up buying it because it
Mhm.
was a gimmick game. It's one of
Yeah.
those things you're only going to play a little bit of at a time. You're not going to go super. Some people went in on it, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And Dragon Drive, I feel like, will be in the same vein where it's like a cool concept. It's fun. You're going to play it for maybe an hour, and then you might go play something else. And then that's kind of it. You might come back to it later,
Yeah.
whatever. It's not going to be one of those super heavy grindy games that you're going to be just on forever. So
Yeah.
it's nice that they recognized that this time and made it $20 because I feel like that's more appealing to be like, oh, that looks like it could be fun. $20 if I get like a couple hours out of it, that's worth it. So people will pick it up just to try that.
Yeah.
But we
I
were
feel like.
talking about the marketing side of it, where the marketing is just basically there
Yeah.
because the marketing budget is going to be so much lower for a lower
Yeah.
price title, which makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So my thing is, I think like all the Rocket League fans are going to play it. They'll try it. I think it's going to be more interesting to them. It's, anybody who just wants to try the gimmick stuff. Every Nintendo console has a gimmick,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
there's always people who want to try the gimmick stuff. So I mean, I think $20, cool. I'm
Yeah,
probably
I
gonna
might
pick it
pick
up
it up.
whenever I get a Switch. Too. I'll probably end up grabbing it because it looks fun.
So.
yeah.
I kind of wanted to skip the next one and like do the one after
Mhm.
that real fast
Oh.
because I was actually chatting about this at work.
Really? The
I've
coworker
seen-
game.
I've seen something on this so much. Okay, Mind's Eye. It
Yes.
looked good. Okay, the trailer for it gave off some really cool vibes, and I'm like, you know what? Depending on the price tag, I'll grab it. Then I started seeing the sponsored gameplay for it,
Yeah.
and there basically isn't any because every time Mind's Eye or the Mind's Eye company, I don't remember the name of the company, basically pauses the
neither.
thing, and they're trying to get you to stream the game for free when it's supposed to be a
Mm.
promotion. So they're doing scummy things
Ah.
that way too.
So Mind's Eye is kind of funny because the whole entire premise of the marketing is that it's a game from former Rockstar guys. You guys love Grand Theft Auto, right? We know them, we love them to some degree. It's the Rockstar devs. They're making a new game. Mind's Eye. I actually don't even know what the game is about. I seen gameplay. I think it's like GTA, I guess. Cyberpunk GTA, I guess. But
Something like that.
I had zero confidence in this game since its reveal. You know why?
Why?
Because the entire promo was just, hey, it's a game from the Rockstar guys. I don't know what the game is about. I've only seen 2 trailers from this game. Both were on like Game Awards and like Summer Games Fest.
Right, yeah.
But see,
all I know is that they spent a lot of money.
And that was the thing too, is like I was seeing that, and the stuff they did show, it looks cool. But yeah, like you said, it's like there's no actual gameplay.
Yeah, I don't know what's about.
No.
For the screenshots are just GTA, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They basically just
okay.
reskin
I will
GTA.
say, when they did show, I do remember seeing this title like shown. I think like Wilson said, Summer Games Fest.
Mm-hmm.
I 100% checked out.
Yes.
Oh, I was on it.
First trailer, like last year, I completely checked out because it was just too much stuff happening.
Yeah, like
it was trying to be like 007 and then like GTA Online plus like.
I think that's what it was. It was so much so quick, and I was like, it's just GTA with extra steps. I don't care. Move.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
Dude, the pictures have motion blur.
Oh no.
Why do the screenshots have motion blur?
That's
dire.
That's dire. Yeah.
Stop. Gross.
Yeah.
Oh wow, Mind's Eye review on IGN, a 4. It's labeled as bad.
Nah.
Damn.
It has it come out yet?
Yeah,
it came out. June 10th. June 10th.
I do actually have a video linked in the document.
Yes.
Mind's Eye launches an absolute disaster. If you could pull it up on screen, it'd be
okay.
Pretty.
Give me a
it's
sec.
a short, quick video. From Nick Tech.
Not that I trust IGN's reviews.
But the game looks absolutely hilarious in like the worst way possible. So bad that Sony, Mr. Head Honcho Sony, are actually issuing refunds for the game.
All right, I'm going to read this real fast, okay? The statement is published below. We can confirm that we have had to make the painful decision to notify our hardworking team of some internal changes at Build a Rocket Boy. While we are working to reassign roles for as many of those impacted by these changes as possible, sadly we are initiating a formal consultation process that may result in redundancies. This decision has not been made lightly, and we are committed to handling this process with transparency, fairness, and respect for all employees. We will provide further details to the team over the coming weeks. The launch of Mind's Eye has been a significant milestone for Build a Rocket Boy, but we know that we still have a lot more to do to grow our community in the coming years. The challenges we've faced have only strengthened our resolve, and while we are deeply saddened by today's decision and thankful to our incredible team, this shift allows us to focus on delivering ongoing updates and performance optimizations for Mind's Eye while we ensure the long-term success of Build a Rocket Boy's future ambitions. That was that was put out by Build a Rocket Boy has confirmed IGN's report that the redundancy process has begun at the studio. And this was a this statement was from Build a Rocket Boy.
Yeah.
I hate companies, okay? And I hate their wording because it's so contradicting. Like within the first paragraph, it contradicts itself. Saying, where was it? Painful decision to notify some internal changes at Build a Rocket, right? And then they're also saying in the process with transparency, fairness, and respect. It's absolutely not transparent when you say internal changes. You're firing them. You're laying them off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Just say what it is, that these people no longer have jobs. Just say the words, and then don't lie to me that you're being transparent when you're using this corporate
Oh,
trying to soften the blow thing. No, your
guys.
production on the game sucked. You couldn't do it right. Bad idea, whatever. Whoever in charge. It's another common
1 million
Sony
on
L,
marketing.
if I'm being honest.
Oh no, this is a
Guys.
Sony game. We can't put the flack on Sony here.
Here-
Oh, we
This is
can't?
not-
Okay.
No, this is
Yeah.
this was purely the statement that I just read, Ryan, was from the company.
I know it's from them, yeah, but I thought this was a
Yeah.
PlayStation game because I've never heard of this.
No, it was
No.
on PlayStation. I think it's also on PC. I want to
Yeah,
say.
they
Okay.
so here's I don't who is Gerhard?
I don't know.
'Cause-
Actually.
Oh, it's at the bottom of it's
the
on Xbox
boss
as well,
of
apparently.
publisher IO.
Xbox did not push this game.
No, but
Wow.
Did not see it.
no, it was. They're basically saying that there's a. They are trying to claim that there was a concerted effort by some to trash the game and the studio, suggesting that people were paid or using spam bots to post negative comments about the game.
Say it ain't so.
But
Or
they're trying to
your
say that
game
Mind's
flopped.
Eye. They're trying to say Mind's Eye is the Roblox for adults.
Oh my god, bro.
I do like this one paragraph in here that's on Steam, which does not paint the whole picture of the Mind's Eye's current popularity. It probably is the majority. Let's be real.
It's
Yeah.
probably majority.
The game hit a peak concurrent player count of 3,302
Oh.
at launch,
That's peak.
but had a 24-hour peak of just 130 players.
100.
So
At the time of this article's
130.
publication, there were 52 people who were playing on Steam.
Oh no.
that
bro.
is, and mostly negative review rating. So
You
that's
go
this
from
had- this game was on Game Awards and Summer Games Fest. Its target audience is the common majority player that's like gaming on like, that the target audience is GTA players. The
yeah,
grand majority of people.
yeah, absolutely. But for your launch to be 3,300 people, that's already bad for the budget that this game had, right?
yeah.
So that's already bad. But then to go from 32 or 3,300 to 130 to 52 within
Yeah.
a week.
Yeah, I don't know that that's
your
bots.
game's DOA. I'm sorry.
I don't know that that's bots either.
No. I don't think
That's
Rockstar even
crazy.
cares enough to like make fake reviews, to be honest.
Hmm.
I don't I think
No,
they have
no.
bigger fish to fry, to be honest.
Rockstar, let's be real. Rockstar doesn't. They're even as like I'm not a big Rockstar fan. Like I like older GTA's and I like Red Dead, but like I'm not a huge Rockstar fan. But you can still look at the company and be like, they put out like one game
Fair
like every
multi.
decade, right? But they are realistically at that level of like on Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo when it comes to their releases.
Yes.
When they
Yeah.
release a new game, every single time it will take the world by storm for a while. It's not a quick drop off for Rockstar
No.
when they have their big titles. They obviously do other little things here and there that don't hit, but like their major titles, like any of the Grand Theft Autos, Red Dead, like I mentioned, when those games come out, it's all over. Like they make
Yeah.
so much money.
I agree.
Like
Yeah.
they're up there. So Rockstar, I don't think cares at all about this game.
Nah.
They don't need to be that petty. Is the thing. There are literally people saying that they will pay $100 for GTA 6 happily.
Yeah.
Rockstar does not need to try to take out any competition because in that genre, that like open action adventure, whatever you want to call GTA, they really don't have competition.
No.
They just don't.
I think that kind of hits the point on Mind's Eye, though. I think we should move on to the one we skipped.
Yeah.
Greatness
great-
dropping this year.
The greatness.
All right, guys. I'm gonna let Wilson lead this
Yeah,
one.
this is
This is-
absolutely a Wilson topic more
Yeah.
than anything.
All right, guys. There's a lot of racing games coming out this year. We got Mario Kart World. It dropped. I can't wait to play it. It's gonna be a great time. Garfield Kart 2, I guess, could be fun. You know, but who gives a shit? Because Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, it's gonna be peak fiction. So
It
Sonic
will.
Racing. They added a couple new characters. From
Mhm.
there was a recent. Y'all remember this when you're kids? You watching Kids Choice Awards, right? That thing.
Yeah.
Haven't tuned in like
Yep.
15 years, but apparently,
I was gonna say, not
during the
everybody
Ki-
watching actually will know that.
No, exactly. Apparently, in the recent Kids Choice Awards, they added a new trailer showing your boy SpongeBob SquarePants and Patrick is being added to Sonic Racing Crossroads. Not only them, but also Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the newer movie ones. And,
What?
Avatar?
Like the Last
Yeah.
Airbender or
Yeah.
the Navi?
Yeah.
Last
Nah.
Airbender.
Nah, this is gonna
haven't
be
seen them
peak
yet, but
gaming.
Aang is gonna be in it, dude. I'm telling you, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be awesome. They showed a new stage, Jellyfish Fields, like Bikini Bottom in general. So that's alright, but it just feels really weird seeing SpongeBob and Shadow in the same game.
Yeah.
You're right. To be fair,
Yeah,
it
I
was
think
weird.
that's-
It was weird seeing Link in a Soul Calibur game. So
That's
it was
fair.
peak, though.
It
This
absolutely
is
was.
certainly a trip to like any kids like watching all these trailers must be going like absolute
insane.
batshit insane. Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, easily.
I don't
for
have
me-
anything. Oh, you go.
Like with I'm getting the new Sonic Racer.
Oh, of
Oh,
course.
It looks super fun. I'm absolutely gonna get it. I'm still personally not at all sold on their whole bundle thing.
Yeah.
Like the whole pass thing. I don't really care about the Nickelodeon characters being added because I was not a Nickelodeon kid. I watched a little bit of it, but I don't have that connection to Nickelodeon
Fair.
at all. So that doesn't do anything for me. And I don't need Minecraft.
Yeah. All
I don't
the
need it.
crazy crossover characters are the season pass, but all the
Yeah.
Sega characters are gonna be like free.
And
upgrade
that's
characters.
where I was definitely more intrigued was the Sega owned ones.
Yeah.
I thought that was definitely like Miku. I think
Yeah.
is super cool. I think that's gonna be awesome. I'm cool with Miku being in there. That's great. So
Give me
like
Monkey Ball.
Hello, Owen.
as far as like getting the season pass goes, also with the game being the price it is,
It's
I'm
gonna be
not
expensive, bro.
not
Yeah.
even close to being sold
No,
for me
not at all.
personally. But
I need to see how
Game-
Aang looks like first.
game still looks really fun.
Wilson, you're
And
getting
yes,
it. We
Mikey,
know.
Hatsune Miku. Yes.
Yeah.
Hatsune Miku is in the new Sonic Racer because she's owned by Sega.
Yep. It's gonna be awesome.
Wilson?
I'm probably gonna be getting this at a sale though. Sorry, I can't.
Wilson.
That's a high price for a
That's-
racing game.
Wilson.
Yeah.
I know you.
Yeah.
The moment you have the opportunity, you're getting that pass.
Ah,
Everybody's saying
I'm-
Miku. Yes, Miku is in
Yeah.
the new Sonic Racer as a racer.
Yeah.
I
Miku is-
cannot wait
and
to go
looks
online and
awesome.
see a lobby that is full of Miku and one SpongeBob.
One
And the best
SpongeBob
part
and
is
then a
that
couple
Miku's
Jokers.
Not part of DLC. She's just there. She's just in the game.
Yeah,
Joker
she's
from
just a character.
Persona as well.
Yep, Joker's there.
Oh,
Probably
yeah, I
gonna
forgot about
expect
that,
more
yep.
Persona characters probably gonna be showing up. We'll be surprised
That
to see
was-
Aegis or Morgana or some shit like that. I need II from Monkey Ball.
Who is somebody that you're
Mm.
looking at, Owen, for this Sonic game?
I want II. That'd be kind of cool. but,
Chat. Give me the people that you want to see.
I guess
Oh,
realistically, all bets are off. They got
Yeah.
Nickelodeon, so
They've got
Yeah.
who do
Nickelodeon,
you want
so.
crossed in?
Yo, give me Danny Phantom. Hold up.
Oh yes.
Danny's cool. I like
Phantom.
Danny.
Nah.
No,
or-
screw Danny. Give me what's her name? Ember. Give me her.
Who?
The best character in Danny
Oh
Phantom.
yeah, Ember be sick. No,
Literally the
there's-
only episode of that show I remember.
Invader Zim.
The only
Give me
I don't
Invader
know
Zim.
that episode.
Oh, Zim. Yeah, Zim.
Zim.
I love Zim.
Oh yes, Akira from Virtua
Akira.
Fighter. How do you pronounce that? Virtua Fighter?
Virtua Fighter. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Virtua Fighter.
they can just make him base roster because he's Sega.
Yep.
Ooh, you're right
Actually,
there.
Yeah.
I don't know how many slots the free roster has. I saw a lot, but I didn't count how many
Give
the
me.
Sega characters will have.
Well, obviously we got Bulborb's answer, which is a Bulborb.
A Bulborb. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Give
Of
me
course.
Misato from Evangelion. From
Oh,
what?
Evangelion?
Evang-
Yeah.
Oh,
What is
Evangelion,
that?
Yeah.
Mech show.
It's an
I don't know.
anime.
Okay.
Isn't it?
And
Kazuma.
of course, it's from Mario and Luigi Brothership, of course.
Of
Yeah.
course, my favorite Mario and Luigi character,
A
Kazuya.
Sega character I want, Knights.
Oh,
it's a
Knights.
classic
That's
one.
a good pull.
Neon Genesis. No, I feel like I
You've probably
recognize
seen the
that one.
Wait,
characters.
Taylor, you don't know that?
No.
I know that. I haven't watched it, but I know that.
I
I'll
watched
go-
like 4 episodes.
I'll watch it. Watch me start it and then just realize, wait, I've seen this.
Yeah.
You,
Yeah.
you probably most definitely know the characters.
Yeah,
Let's-
absolutely.
No, I want to see Knights. I want to see I want to see.
Right.
Yeah, no, dude. Knights is actually a really good pull.
I think we should start a poll in our respective discords to see what characters we think are going to be coming.
Crazy
Oh,
Taxi.
Yo, we need Kazuya Kiryu from Yakuza. We got Ichiban, but I need Kiryu. Kiryu's a go. He's
All right.
Yakuza himself.
Echo the Dolphin?
Let's move
Echo,
on.
no, Dolphin in Mario Kart World. Give me Echo in Sega.
let's move on to the DK game.
Oh my god, Donkey Kong
DK.
looks awesome.
I agree.
Yeah, it does.
Dude, it's absolutely gonna be Odyssey 2 at this point, or actually not even
100%.
Odyssey 2. Kind of looking like Odyssey 0. Not gonna lie, kind of look like a prequel to me.
I guess, yeah, prequel,
That does
yes.
that's actually a really good question, Owen. Like, why is Pauline a kid? And I think Wilson's
if it
theory.
is, yeah, it's a prequel to
Yeah.
Odyssey.
I was about to
Or
say.
a prequel to Donkey Kong, technically.
We do see Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong though, which is interesting though.
It's an origin story.
Is it
Yeah.
though? I guess we'll
I
have
mean,
to
I
wait
would
to
assume
see.
so.
Honestly,
She's a kid.
It's a Disney show.
but
it's a
remember,
Disney
they
movie.
like to not make things canon.
Mario and canon. There's
It's
what
barely a thing.
Because
Yeah,
if
but
it's a prequel, why does
don't overcomplicate it.
that
yeah.
mean that the DK we see in Bonanza
Bonanza is
is
cranky?
We-
On a
no, we see
technicality,
Cranky.
That's
We
actually
see Cranky in
well,
Donkey Kong.
we do, but I feel like when it comes to the Kongs, it's very Zelda with Link, right? Where it's just like at that moment, it's Donkey,
yeah.
but technically that Donkey is the Cranky from a later Donkey Kong. Like
I
it's
don't
one of
know,
those things where they're always the same name, but the placement of where they are on the timeline
Yeah.
is like different. If that makes any sense, it doesn't make sense because it's Nintendo and they don't know what a
Yeah.
timeline is.
They
But
don't care about timelines.
yeah, they don't. But I will just assume that yes, that Donkey is just Cranky from like N64 DK.
The only thing I'm hesitant is because we straight up see Diddy Kong and Dixie Kong in there.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna assume that like Mario Odyssey and DK Bonanza are just their own continuity. Like
Oh, yeah, it's
they're all
just their own
combined.
universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which would make a lot more sense. to
Odyssey's
be using it.
universe reset. I'm like, yeah, screw canon. After this.
Screw the canon in
Yeah.
this shit.
yeah,
Alright.
I don't care.
Yeah,
anyway.
we can just assume that that's what it is. It's just
I
the
will.
prequel to Odyssey specifically.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
go ahead and post for anybody that doesn't know what the trailer is. I'll post that in chat real fast for y'all to take a look at.
Pauline was an adult when Cranky was young, so like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't think about it.
No,
Honestly,
God.
yeah, don't think too deep into it. Just be like, the way I see it is like
Assume
Donkey
that
Kong's
the
there,
girl-
and it's just a story for Pauline.
Great. It's a
assume the
story.
girl we see the Pauline. You know what? Screw it. The Pauline we see in OGDK. That's Pauline's mom, right? Or grandmother, right? And then this Pauline is like Pauline II, and we just don't know that in Odyssey.
Right. Yeah. There you go.
Sure.
Which is why she became a singer. It's like different story, like different and a mayor, like just completely different path of life, right?
Listen, your mind is a domain expansion, mate. Bro, I'm trying to like at least. These games don't connect.
These
These
games are
just
not
fucking don't
connecting at
connect.
No,
all.
do not ever try to put legitimate timelines on
Do not.
Nintendo. I
Yeah.
have the Hyrule Historia. It's stupid.
Yes.
I'm just going into the game assuming it's a prequel to Odyssey because
That's
we're
Yeah,
probably
fair.
gonna build
yeah,
do
it's
Donk
not
City,
that deep.
and that's it. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's not that deep.
I mean, obviously, there's not a whole lot that can be said about the DK game other than it looks really good. It looks like it's gonna
Mhm.
be something that we're gonna play. Um, Other than that, I feel like we've said on the last stream, is there anything new since we talked last time, or is it still all the same thing?
For
For
DK, well, it had
DK,
that direct, but I think
yeah,
we
they showed a
talked
bunch at the
about.
direct.
Yeah.
Well, I meant they had a.
Everything's named after a banana.
Yeah.
All right, that's new. That's good to know.
Lot new we got transformations now. Donkey Kong can go Super Saiyan, right?
So I
Yep,
wanna,
yep.
I want chat to start.
It's Winston's ult from Overwatch.
Yeah.
I
Super
want
Saiyan 4 Goku as well. You know,
I
Gear
want
4 as
chat
well.
to
Luffy.
start coming up
Yep.
with banana jokes.
Yep. All
Also,
the
he could be a
bananas
zebra.
are the moons. Yep. Zebra, that's one transformations. Ostrich that can fly apparently is another
Oh no, that is
transformation.
definitely Mario Odyssey. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, no, this is absolutely the Odyssey team's next game.
Except you can do the transformations on the fly, which
True.
means you can combo them
Oh
and their
my.
different abilities, which
Yeah.
actually looks
That's
really fun.
You can terraform as well, not just destroying, but also building as well.
okay.
Which is
Yep.
kinda cool.
Yep.
Oh,
No,
actually, one low key thing I saw from the direct.
What?
Game share.
Ooh, what about
Game
it?
share was kind of big.
Yes,
Uh,
actually. Yeah, Wilson, explain that.
So game sharing on is a new thing on the Switch 2 where it kind of like local connect on the DS where you can like download a light version of a game and you can play it together. Game share is kind of different because it's like your Wi-Fi streaming the game, the same exact copy of the game to another party. But this is kind of cool.
Owen.
So there are 3 ways you can game share. You can game share locally with another person with the Switch 2.
Yes.
You can game share online via the game chat thing, so it can be another part of the world and play the same copy of the game.
Oh.
But
Mhm.
also, you can game share it to a Switch 1 user locally.
Yep.
Which is interesting. You can play Donkey Kong Bonanza on Switch 1, albeit you're playing as Pauline, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But it's like, damn, Switch 1 users can have some fun as well. That's kind of clean.
That is clean.
Yeah.
I agree with.
Which
I'm
is
noticing.
actually super cool.
I'm noticing the
Because all the
Switch
processing
2.
is on the Switch 2 and not the Switch 1, which is kind of cool.
Yep. It's literally just a cloud streamer, basically.
Yep.
It's less taxing.
I'm noticing that the Switch 2 is definitely really good. Honestly, it's one of the best consoles that I've seen for backwards compatibility with hardware specifically.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. It is.
That translation layer is going crazy.
Which
Yeah.
is why, like, we talked about it super early. It was before we were even doing the podcast stuff with how some people were speculating that Nintendo was going to just essentially drop the Switch and stop doing whatever and just
Yeah.
like go all in on Switch 2. And I made the argument that that doesn't make any sense. The Switch being one of their like best selling things of all time, you don't just drop that.
No.
You want to integrate as much of it as possible moving forward.
Yeah.
Because of that exact reason. Like
Yeah.
if somebody gets a Switch 2 and gets Donkey Kong, and then somebody who isn't able to afford it but has a Switch could still partake in playing the game a bit, albeit a more simplistic version of it,
Yeah.
but you're still going to be part of it. Like you can still actually do something.
One
So-
of us. One
And
We're
I
of
gonna
like
have-
this strategy compared to like PlayStation because like at least with Nintendo, like they're gonna drop exclusive for the Switch 2s, right?
Oh yeah.
Like
For
you
sure.
want to incentivize people to come forward, but it's not
Absolutely.
leaving out the Switch 1 user base. Unlike with Sony, there are exclusives, but also most of this generation has just been cross gens.
Yeah.
And I think actually just this month, the PS5 user base finally overseated, or the percentage of like PS5 owners and PS4 owners is finally in the PS5 side. So
Oh wow.
They're
finally
finally
this month. Yeah.
nice.
Yeah,
So
right at the point where they're talking PS6.
right,
Yeah, which is kind of a problem.
which I
Yeah.
definitely feel like they need to back up just a little bit, put some more effort into the
Agreed.
PS1 games. Like all of the games that you're releasing right now are flopping.
They gotta
all of-
like delay the PS6 another 5 years and
At
extend the
least.
generation.
Pull a
I agree.
pull a
Because
that
Xbox
game
was saying
first.
2028 was what they were expecting for their next console, so 3
And
years.
even
Because of
then-
this handheld. This handheld's gonna be
Oh.
like the in between.
that's
Yeah.
fair.
So that's why they're saying 2028 is supposed to be the next Xbox,
That's-
and that's how they said it initially, was supposed to be. So we could expect it to even be longer, depending on the success or flop of the handhelds. If the handheld does really well, they might just be bumping another couple of years. Let's just pump more into
Yeah.
Game Pass because that's doing
Yeah.
well, right? So
I feel that. I definitely think that the way that Nintendo's doing things right now is overshadowing a lot of things. But you guys had brought up we're talking game share and we're talking Nintendo exclusives. You know what I'm ready for? Game
Yes,
sharing that
sir.
new FromSoft game.
Oh shit, you right.
yeah, yeah,
Nah,
That's what I
that'd be
just-
fire.
yeah, that would be sick.
It-
Actually,
Is that why it's a Nintendo exclusive?
it might be.
Oh, and think about this too. Is it like if you're over here, like if they're doing it so that you're playing as Pauline, what if they make it so like there's a partner character that goes along with you that you end up playing that's more like puzzly? Because there's a little bit in the FromSoft games that are puzzles.
Yeah.
So if they have the
Do we know
player,
that about this one though?
we,
know.
as far as I am aware, I know nothing about this game other than it is a
This one-
Nintendo exclusive.
Is
Yeah,
it dropping
Switch
next
exclusive.
year?
I don't remember the release date. You're gonna have to look it up. I do know it is a very PvE sort of deal,
Yeah.
and it also is apparently gonna have PvP as well in some aspect, but that's just Souls. They usually have all of it.
Yeah.
But
it is
this
dropping
is
next year.
very, very I guess more on a cooperative side, which makes sense with Night Rain coming out. They're trying to do a little bit more with that.
Yeah.
Which I could see if you do game share. This is complete just
Yeah.
theory. I have no idea if they're doing this. But if you do game share with the new Souls game in the way of Donkey Kong, it would be cool to see like maybe you're not a full-fledged character, but you're a summon.
Yeah.
No, that would be perfect.
So like you're obviously a bit restricted. It'd be like typical Souls multiplayer, which usually sucks. But if
Mhm.
it's in this sense, it would make sense that you're a
Mhm.
summon, you're here for a fight specifically, and then you can, I don't know how they want to do it. FromSoft is trash with multiplayer, just in general.
Yeah.
Even Night Rain, they're god awful,
Coaching them with this one.
and even Night Rain's multiplayer is stupid, so they're not good at it. So we'll see what happens.
Also, one thing I want to bring out is the fact that the game chat thing is
Yeah.
super easy to like set up. So
Yeah,
would
it
be
seems very
surprised
much
if
like a
it's
drop in, drop out kind of deal.
The Switch
And
2?
I wonder if they're gonna hook that in with the
Yeah.
game sharing with
Yeah.
Duskbloods. Just hop into a friend.
That's
that's
a
what I'm
possibility.
thinking. It
Yeah.
could be that maybe you do just like hop in, and that would almost kind of, you would almost be able to have like a version of like seamless co-op in a sense
Yeah.
with that. It would obviously again be limited. Maybe the one who joins isn't going to be picking up weapons and getting whatever because they don't have full inventory because they're just hopping in. But that's why I'm saying like you just come in as a summon. And that's it. You could fight, you could explore, you could do whatever, and then when you're ready to leave, just
Also, I'll be shocked at all that the summons are going to be associated with the amiibos. There's going to be Duskbloods
Oh,
amiibos.
please.
yeah. There
Please give me
definitely will be.
Guys, chat. Guys, look at this. Please give me more amiibos.
Oh no.
Hold up. Hold up. Guys. Ready? Here, let me. This is all we need. All we need. All the Smash Bros. Game cards. All the Smash Bros. Game cards. All the Animal Crossing game cards. Including the extra ones. All the Zelda, like, not all of them. I got second set of Smash Bros, the Skyward Sword 2. I think that's Breath of the Wild, and then whatever this is. This is just The Legend of Zelda. Splatoon. Bro is rich. Nah, see, okay, so here's the thing. When I was in school, I was working my butt off and going to school at the same time, so I had some extra spare money. I've had these since I started playing. Actually, I got these when I started playing Animal Crossing because I wanted specific guys. And so I've had these for roughly like 4 years now. 4 years. I would, you know what? You know what, guys? Why can't you tell me these things before? Why can't you tell me these things sooner? Yeah, no, they are. How do 4 years is actually not that long. You're right. Yeah. I had a lot of fun with Animal Crossing, but honestly, when they said they were done doing things with it, I kind of just put it down. Yeah. Oh my. That would have been different. Built different. I still like Animal Crossing. Yeah. Yeah, I still like Animal Crossing too. Alright, so are we ready to move into the N64 thing that Wilson was wanting to talk about? Alright. Oh, is it something I need to click on? Here we go, give me a sec. So,
Emulation issue.
give
It's
it.
N64 emulation, guys.
Yeah,
me a
like
favor,
I
guys.
have seen what.
Give me some context before I start playing this, okay? For everybody that doesn't know
Okay,
what's going on.
so
N64
with
emulation. Don't worry.
N64 emulation has this thing, and Banjo is actually pretty. It's pretty very common with Banjo ROMs that this happens. This has been a thing for years. When you play Banjo Kazooie or Banjo Tooie on N64 emulator, when you pause the game, a lot of times the textures break. Now, in this instance, it's specifically when using the rewind feature.
Yep.
And that also makes sense because this happens in Ocarina of Time on emulator. If you save states when you pause,
Hmm.
it happens with Banjo. It happens with Paper Mario. It is a common thing with N64 emulation specifically that if you pause and then reload a save state from the pause moment, like if you pause, save, and then reload it while pause still, textures break. But as you unpause, it auto fixes. So that's what happens here, and it's just bad because this is on the official release for Nintendo.
Yeah.
This is on the Switch too, and they didn't either notice it or find a fix.
Completely works out.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, this is like all the UV bridge, man. What the hell?
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
I've seen that a billion times doing N64 emulated stuff.
I wonder, I probably
Really
should,
common.
honestly.
I haven't seen it with every game. I think Mario Kart 64 also did it on emulator.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen it for both Zeldas. I've seen it for the Banjo games, Paper Mario. I think Mario Kart 64. Mario 64, I don't recall it happening.
I don't think it happens in that one.
Shit, I think Cruisin' World it does it as well.
It's probably like a texture loading issue.
I feel
when
that.
You, like
Yeah.
state. Yeah.
Sorry.
Or
Thank you,
texture
Bubble.
streaming.
That was my bad, guys. I had to turn on desktop audio, so there was a bit of an echo for you guys.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so
silly, harmless bug, pretty much, but it's
Yeah,
just-
it's harmless,
Mhm.
doesn't hurt anything. Once you unpause it, fixes it. But it definitely is going to probably be a little jarring for people who have not emulated on PC and have not seen that for N64 games.
so with we're moving on past that. Switch. Well, since we're talking about Switch 2 emulation, let's talk about Switch 2 sales and the screen.
Oh my god. The sales charts is a
Okay.
relatively older article, but apparently in Japan,
5
Switch
days
2
ago.
has already outsold the lifetime sales of the Xbox Series X and the PS5 Digital Edition.
Say that again, Wilson. I need you to say that a little bit more.
In Japan, as of 5 days, the Nintendo Switch 2 has already outsold the lifetime sales of Xbox Series X and S, and as well as the PS5 Digital Edition.
That is crazy.
Yep.
And honestly, I did expect it after the thing where Nintendo came out being like, we have enough consoles for all of your pre-orders, and then Japan was like, oops, we have too many pre-orders.
Oops.
Mhm.
People are hyped for this.
So
Yeah.
what's going on with that screen then?
The screen is a weird one, actually.
Yeah, the screen is something kind of funny. Wilson and I were sort of talking about it before you hopped in.
What's going on with that?
So, Hardware Unbox, they are like a hardware reviewing company, or channel on YouTube, and
Yeah.
they do
Yeah.
PC tests, console tests. They do a lot of hardware testing, and they did a screen response time test to test the latency for, how slow or how quick in terms of milliseconds the response time is, the input latency and all that.
Yeah.
When it shows up on
Yeah.
screen, right? Apparently it's really bad.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
The typical, okay, I got an image pulled up. The typical IPS monitor for, general computing is around 6.3 milliseconds, right? In
Yeah.
terms of
Yep.
response time for when the thing shows
Basically,
up on
not
screen.
noticeable.
Not noticeable to the human eye at all.
Okay.
Apparently, for at least their Switch 2, their screen was 33 milliseconds, which
A
is
lot more noticeable.
a lot more noticeable. You will sense the delay.
Like if
But,
you're
Ryan
using
and I were talking about it. Like if you move
Tap
on
the
screen,
screen.
you'll probably not even just tapping the screen, but like moving your character, any elements pretty much moving. You'll notice some sense of delay.
Yeah, the best way for a casual person to really test it without like going into like this level of detail is just to open up a game, pretty much any, and look at the screen and put your controller like right in front of it so you could see like your hands and the controller plus the screen. Press a button and look at the character and
So-
see how not instant it is.
So
When
And
it
it
you
should
mean
be
against
instant.
when you're playing in dock.
So
because
you
this is a
mean like
handheld
when I'm
screen.
trying to
Yeah, handheld
parry
screen.
in Smash Bros, and for some reason my parry always comes in right after the attack.
That could
Uh,
mess with it, but this is only the handheld screen, not the
yeah,
the
this is
TV
specifically the
dock.
handheld screen, and it's better to test it in something not online.
I'm not talking online.
'Cause-
I know we had that
Okay.
discussion about online, but I was doing it afterwards, and it's not
It's just bad
bad,
timing.
but it's not.
Get good. Damn. Damn, bro.
Yeah, but honestly, like, yeah, the best way to test it is to get a game where you could just stand still and then press a single button to jump, and then just hit the jump button, and then watch as you'll probably be able to look at your hands hitting the button, and by the time your eye gets to the character, you'll see them start the jump.
I
Yeah.
hear you. I'm opening up Smash right now to test it out.
The
He
weird thing
knows
is
we
that
don't have
there's
a
lot of
water bucket or
variables.
oh
He knows I
no.
don't have a water bucket. Oh no. The weird thing though with their like findings is that there's it seems like it can be fixed through a firmware update because
Oh,
apparently the LCD screens Nintendo has going on is that for to like conserve on like battery, right? They like disable a feature in these LCD screens called overdrive.
Yep.
And apparently that is what helps the LCDs perform faster, and apparently it's disabled. But
Yeah.
hopefully they fix it. But also there's a
wait.
lot of variable, things people are saying about their handheld, saying, "Oh, mine performs just fine," or feels fine, and other
Yeah.
people saying, "Oh, I'm actually getting headaches."
And I'm
from playing the
curious,
handhelds.
actually, what the awareness level is with
Yeah.
stuff like that for the people who are saying I don't notice it, because
Yeah.
there's also a thing with just like modern TVs that
Yes.
if you are playing a game, whether it's an older console or newer, whatever, it doesn't really matter, that there are settings on a TV, on modern TVs, that you need to adjust
Yeah.
to make it so there's less input delay. Not every
motion
TV out the
smoothing is pretty
box is
bad.
going to just work.
Yeah.
So I'm curious how many people are saying, "Oh, it's just fine," are also people who play on TVs with those types of bad input delay settings, so they
Yeah,
just
no
don't
game
notice
mode.
it because they're used to it,
Oh.
which is very, very possible with how common it is.
It is actually, yeah.
So I don't
Because
know.
if
This
you
is
play on
probably one of those things where it's either a quality control issue, people not knowing it, or
yeah,
maybe all of
feel
the
like, yeah.
above. I don't know.
I
because
feel like
if you, depending on what you play, if you play on a computer monitor, 10
Yeah.
times out of 10 you're gonna have better input delay because computer monitors are just
Oh, yeah.
better
yeah.
than
Yeah.
every TV. And then when it's a CRT, they have basically zero input delay.
Wait,
So
Ryan,
what?
Oh, shush
remember
me.
that Zelda Wind Waker delay we were talking about a few months ago?
Yes,
What if this has something to do with that?
that is very possible. I'd put it
What do
at a
you mean?
50-50 because I don't know about their emulation for
Yeah.
GameCube. I don't know how good it is or not. So I could see it being a 50-50 on that, where it could be this and it also could be just their emulation.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I
their
also feel like
emulation's-
GameCube emulation is so much easier to do than N64. Like I
Uh,
feel like they should
weird.
be able to get GameCube emulation solid.
So, let's move into the next sales data that you guys wanted to talk about.
Oh yeah, Ryan, you talk about this guy. I don't know idea what this is.
Oh, Sega's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is more or less just a leak that happened that really shouldn't have happened. It's not
Lol.
necessarily like
Oh, one
I wouldn't
sec.
say
I
okay.
just noticed that do you guys have ads on my stream?
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a small break.
Okay.
Breather break, and then we have 2 more points that we want to talk about, right?
We got the sales and then the Microsoft. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there anything other than those 2 points that you guys wanted to talk about?
I mean, nothing's showing up my boost guy, so I think we're probably good with that.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, speaking of Animal Crossing, hold up.
Speaking of
Oh.
Animal Crossing, I don't like that.
A lot of units.
A lot
lot
of
of
units, yeah.
50 million. Goddamn.
Oh, I pulled that out by accident. Guys, I'm ready for
Hmm?
grounded.
Nice.
I had Spiky hop in to my grounded server yesterday. It was awesome.
Hell yeah. Oh.
What?
Ryan,
What?
I'm just gonna send this link.
Okay, let me see.
Remember that?
Yeah.
Go,
Did
Ryan.
it happen? Oh,
Uh,
it's gonna be tonight. Never mind. Okay.
Hey,
At 9
how much
p.m.
is that for
Eastern.
you guys?
oh yeah. No, we my friend mentioned this. Yeah, this is for the plus members, which
Mm,
I am not.
but the plus member is only for like early access, but I wonder how many for that matter.
Want 1 hour early access to this item. 1
Yeah.
hour early access. That's
Yeah.
what this is.
How much will that impact? I wonder.
What's a plus
lot.
country? That's a great question. I don't know. But what is the
Don't know.
price saying for you guys for that?
500.
Oh, just 500, yeah.
Okay. Just making sure.
That's the normal.
Yeah.
There is a more sellers option starting at 700.
Yeah, no, that's that.
I'm good.
I'm good on that.
Mm-mm.
I love how things that I might want. Mario Kart, Nintendo Wii, wheeled sold separately. Mario Kart Switch with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Wait, what?
Um, Mario Kart Switch with gray Joy-Cons and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and something else.
This is the evidence I'm gonna show for people saying the Mario Kart World Bundle is gonna be limited time.
Oh no,
Just
that's
the 9 proc listings of different Mario Kart 8 bundles.
yeah. I
Yeah.
like you can still find God of War bundles for the PS5, so I don't think that when if they say limited time,
If anybody paid attention during the Switch, you know the Mario Kart bundle is not limited.
yeah.
Maybe for
Every
this first
single-
initial wave,
Every single time they need to put something out because of a quote unquote sale, it will just be that bundle. That's it. We're gonna have
Yeah.
it for the next 10 years. Don't worry.
Mhm. You're Gucci. Don't worry. You can get your Mario Kart roll for $50.
Yeah.
All right. Is the ads over?
I don't know, you tell me.
I don't see an ad.
Okay, then
I don't
think
see a
the ads-
countdown, so I'll just assume they are.
Same. All right,
Nice.
keep going. We were talking about the sales leak for Sega, you said?
For Sega. Yeah.
Yes.
Sega's a bunch of or not just it was a PDF.
Wow.
Some
Oh, it was-
PDF documents got leaked by mistake from Sega. And all it is just showing sales numbers for a bunch of their IPs, a bunch of their titles. It's not necessarily like bad to come out because they've been doing good. So it's showing a lot of very solid sales numbers, especially for Persona.
Oh yeah.
No wonder Persona 5 keeps getting new games. Jesus Christ.
To be
Yeah, Persona 5 has been since what is it, fiscal year 20, so 2020. Persona 5 Royale or Royal has
Mhm.
been pretty consistent with the
Oof.
exception of year 2022
The-
of
I can explain
doing
2023. I can explain that one.
yeah, because that's the highest one of almost 2 million. So
That's when the multi-platform release came out for Switch and PC.
that makes
Yeah.
sense.
um
Okay.
I've also been seeing there's a lot of Persona-esque games that have been coming out recently, so people are kind of going back to it.
Yep, a lot of Persona and Shin Megami Tensei games coming out. So
Wasn't
yeah.
I feel like Expedition 33 isn't that along the same vein as Persona?
Different team, like different studio, but like similar. Yeah, I guess
Gameplay.
turn-based
Gameplay.
yeah.
Okay.
Similar, yeah.
But yeah, that's
Oh.
That's all this really is, and it's just showing that Sega has been pretty consistent at putting out stuff that sells well.
I'm surprised that Sonic Frontiers at 4.5 mil. That's big. Good
Yeah.
for that. Goddamn. Hopefully we
Yep.
can get like an actually really solid mainline entry soon, besides on Shadow Gens.
Yeah, my whole thing with
Yeah,
Frontiers
good.
was I never played it, but watching it, I was like, this game looks like insanely good framework for a really good game.
Yeah.
Sonic Frontiers, I did play all the way through, including the new epilogue thing it got. It's
Yeah.
a amazing foundation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Legends Arceus.
Makes
where
sense.
it's a good launching pad for a new series, for a new like core,
A new way to
system.
do the game. Yeah.
Not a 10 out of 10, a
Right.
fire 7 out of 10.
Fire 7 out of 10.
Yes.
Fair,
I compare Legends Arceus a lot, or it's like, okay, I want this to be the new direction going forward, but not the greatest start.
Right. It's like this, but do it better.
Exactly. Keep
Do
doing
it
that. Keep doing that.
Better.
Double down on this.
Exactly.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. But yeah,
All
that's
right.
all that
Super
is, and it really is showing that. I mean, Sega has pretty much been doing pretty solid
Yeah.
in sales numbers for the last 5 years,
Yeah.
and if anything shows from things they've been at, like directs and stuff that they have been at and showing stuff, I mean, Sega just constantly is going to keep doing good. I don't see them realistically slowing down in that regard.
Not really. I mean,
Good for them. Good for
they
them.
they have they have
Yeah.
such a strong IP that all they need is to
Yeah.
like make things that the fans want to see and stop just trying to
Yeah.
appease the shareholders.
Legit.
And I
like,
will
just
say,
just keep going. Just keep going.
I do think that's the one,
With
and
that
it's also
advice.
just different. I think with a lot of companies in Japan, as it is here, that when it comes to the shareholders, look at Sega and Nintendo together. That like their shareholders are more in the of, okay, we know what's gonna come of this. Just do
They
what you're
want
gonna do.
long term instead of short term.
Yeah. And honestly, shareholders for Persona 5 are probably pretty happy.
They're like,
especially because like there's like a gotcha game coming out in a few weeks, getting global. Persona 5X. Oh, they're gonna be. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Persona 5 stocks keep going
Yeah.
higher.
right?
Yeah, so
Which
yeah, if you're an investor in Japan, Sega's not a bad decision.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like
So-
you need a lot of money to get in on it though.
yeah.
Definitely.
To answer your question though, guys, I wear flannels in the winter.
Nice. Same. Bless you. Bless you again. Oh, Lord.
All right,
Whoa,
the final.
shut up.
Unfortunately, we will be leaving on bad news in
Oh,
the gaming
yeah.
industry.
Yeah. Yep.
So
Unfortunate.
we have.
What else is new?
We are seeing
Mhm.
major job cuts at the Xbox game division for the
Not
what?
yet.
We will be
Soon.
Yeah. Coming soon.
Coming
So
soon, we will be
review.
seeing some more layoffs in the Xbox gaming division. This will be, what is it, the 4th major layoff? But we've also been
Yep.
hearing lots and lots of layoffs going on in the Xbox community in general, between
Yeah.
like the third party people being laid off or restructured or whatever's going on, and then you've got Sony who's doing the same thing. Or let me try that again. Sony is for some reason not doing anything about these games that
Poor
are just
games.
ripping
Yeah.
off other people. It's almost like they have their hands full trying to deal with the current lawsuits that they are inheriting from the other things, that it's like they don't have the time to look at this.
Yeah.
Like,
See, the Xbox thing, it's unfortunate because it really does all stem from the Activision Blizzard acquisition.
Yes.
mhm.
Because they spent so much money trying to acquire those companies in they like spend what was it, $70 billion
Something
Yeah.
obscene, yeah.
to get Activision, Blizzard, and King, that they're now dealing with, and this is going back to what I was talking about with the shareholders being different in places like Japan as opposed to here in the US. Where here, they want a quick turnaround. They want to see
Yeah.
that
Profits.
investment flip really fast. And
Yeah.
now you got Microsoft, who needs to pay back all of their shareholders and investors, right? But they also dropped 70 billion on
Another factor
Activision, and
that,
they
like-
aren't doing anything
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah. Another factor too is that, like, in the grand scheme of Microsoft is like a mega corporation, right? But in the
Yeah.
grand scheme of things, Xbox was like, you know, a non-important deal in times of Microsoft. Xbox would just really do
Yeah.
whatever the hell they want within Microsoft. They don't really care. But the
Yeah.
fact
Yeah,
that
yeah.
they did this ginormous like deal, now Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, and like the shareholders within Microsoft, now it's like, oh, okay, we actually gotta manage you now because that's
Yeah.
a lot of
Yeah.
money. So Microsoft is
Yeah.
like another big deal now. So like, oh,
Yeah,
oh
because
shit.
the one thing that we do know when it comes to Microsoft is they are a $3 trillion company.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
a trillion with a T. They are actually a $3 trillion company as of last year.
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh.
they, as a company, are going to be fine, of course. But at the end of the day, like Wilson was saying, Xbox has kind of been this sub like company
Yeah.
owned
like,
by Microsoft. They've had access to Microsoft funding. They have access to Microsoft tools. They have all that. But
Yeah.
Your
when it
operating
came-
expenses were pretty much like a rounding error, pretty much.
yeah. So them spending this level in one swoop, which obviously Microsoft knew about and they
Yeah.
approved it. But
I
I guess
think-
they approved it probably with the implications of this acquisition, because it's like any sort of pitch that you have to do, that
Yeah.
acquiring this company could lead to X, Y, and Z, bringing
Yeah.
in this amount, and it's going to pay back that amount in X amount of years, whatever their whole thing was. And I'm sure within the first year, they did not see that turnaround start at all.
No. And honestly, it probably had to do with the one of two things. I would say the lackluster gameplay from the Call of Duty series that they were expecting
Oh,
to be like
absolutely.
crazy good and was not, but also all of the arbitration lawsuits that they're having to deal with through Activision, because since Sony is
Yeah.
Sony is being all of the contracts that Activision had were arbitration or whatever, their arbitration contracts. And so if Sony ends up having a problem, right, or Activision is having a problem, then there has to be a representative for Sony there, since that's their parent company and it's arbitration. They have to have somebody there that is like above the Activision guys, don't they? I think it would depend on the because of
I don't
the
know
amount of
enough about
things
that.
that
That-
came to light.
I do think when it comes to the arbitration one specifically, if I remember correctly, I'd have to double check this, that during the acquisition process, whatever those contracts and deals were
Mhm.
either reworked or
fulfilled.
transferred.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
that's where I'm thinking is like that's probably where a lot of their money is going, is that they're having to deal with those lawsuits that are actual like problems, and they're trying to, I think,
Yeah.
hush it up a little
Yeah.
bit, because we haven't heard anything in the news since the Activision acquisition about
Well-
these problems.
Well, we did.
what?
Not
Really? This
recently. It
one?
was more shortly after they did acquire them.
I don't remember.
Pretty much all of the people named in the lawsuits
Yes.
in the
My
higher up
crash?
section, they were no. I hear you, Wilson. All of those people were removed from the
I think my
company.
internet crashed. Oh no!
Wilson, we still hear you though.
Yeah. I'm assuming he doesn't hear us, which means I think maybe his Discord is crashing.
That's fine.
Um,
We're kind
so
of
yeah,
wrapping up
so-
anyways.
So what did happen was Microsoft, once they had full reins, they did clean house, and
Yeah.
they did remove a bunch of the people who were named in the lawsuits to, I guess, just avoid the problematic part of it, and
Yeah.
then let the lawsuits be handled outside of the company, which I guess makes sense, but also there's our own. I have my own issues with how it was handled
Yeah.
specifically.
I feel like that's
Really
not.
talking about Bobby Kotick specific.
Yeah.
I don't think
Severance
we
package
should.
was absolutely not needed.
I don't want to get too much into that one because that's just all just a bunch of negative that I don't really want to get into.
Yeah.
But
we
this
know
one
we don't
specifically
really
is
like
just
that.
a lot of layoffs just happening.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that
That will
is
happen.
it's still all stemming from that.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
I don't like it because, like we mentioned, Microsoft is such a rich company that you could, you're
They
gonna
could
be
eat it.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you easily.
They
could.
make
They're
enough
a
money.
$3 trillion company. They can eat the $70 billion like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I feel like the big thing is just mostly like Activision. Like let's think about this from a parent or a parent company perspective. I don't even think it's them trying to eat the cost either, or them trying to do whatever. Like, in all honesty, this is like with the whole Activision thing. There's a good chance that because Activision is not hitting the numbers that they were hitting prior, right? Before all of this stuff was coming in. I think the main like point that they were trying to acquire Activision was because they thought that all of this stuff was going to blow over. Everybody's going to get back into Activision games the way that they were into them before, where it was all basically like a whole ass not quite esports, but it felt like it got as competitive as it would be in esports, like a casual esports.
I wonder
okay.
if like they expected higher turnover for Game Pass subscriptions with
Okay,
Call of
so
Duty's on Game Pass.
Here's the thing. Two things I wanna just touch on with that.
Yeah.
No.
The first one I'll talk about is their hope for like Call of Duty sales. That was not a factor.
Really?
Because Black Ops 6 did top like 500 million copies sold.
That's fair.
Like that game sold extremely well because of the potential promise that it had. That people who are blind COD fans and will just play every single one, to people who were like me and dipped out of the entire IP completely for a decade and were like, this looks like the game to make it fun again. Like everyone was in on Black Ops 6.
Yeah.
And it ended up flopping. Like as far as like maintaining its big player base, it didn't flop financially, but the main player base, like a lot of people dropped out of it, got a lot of its own issues where it's rushed map design, and because obviously, we're hitting sales numbers, get more maps out, and they're rushed and not good. It has a really bad cheating problem, insanely bad.
I feel that.
It's just it's one of those things. So like when it comes to that, it definitely made what they wanted financially for. But what Wilson said about Game Pass subscription, 100% is what they really wanted.
That makes sense. Like I feel like
that is what they wanted because Xbox is desperate, literally desperate, to make Game Pass profitable to the point where that's why they made that decision of, okay, Call of Duty, it's consistently one of the best-selling titles every year. Even when they're trash, it's always one of the best-selling titles. Put it on Game Pass. People will be like, I'd rather pay $17, $60 or $70 for the game, and it'll boost Game Pass subscription. And I think it did temporarily, but because the game was not that good, people canceled their subscriptions, and they lost a bunch of their Game Pass subscriptions. So they're scrambling again. It's like, well,
that's probably what this is.
Not
then,
thinking long term. You were thinking, what's the Band-Aid? Not how do we fix the problem? And that is why Activision keeps running into these problems every year.
The solution is probably not to rely on Game Pass.
The solution is probably
either
to
not
start
rely on
making
Game
better
Pass,
games.
or it's not to rely on a single title. That's
Yeah.
their big thing. They relied on Call of Duty. That was it. It was like that Call of Duty that'll save it. But it's like
It-
And the problems
you
I like
acquire
that they're-
Activision. Activision has so many IPs that
Why
are
are you stuck
unused and
on one?
untouched that people want, like literally want, and will play. And you're not making games with those. The closest they're doing now is remaking Pro Skater. And it's like that's cool, and it's going on Game Pass, and people are gonna want that. They're gonna play
Oh,
that.
yeah.
But it's like, okay, that's one. Activision's got a plethora of IPs.
Yeah.
There's so many games that they could be doing that they're just not. And people are mad at Phil Spencer because initially he listed IPs that
Yeah.
was under Activision that he's like, we're gonna bring these back. We could do this. We're gonna have access to this, and then
Nothing.
nothing.
But
Literally
the
nothing.
problem
Call of
here
Duty.
is that they have the money to do it. They
Yes.
don't have the head count to do
I'm-
it because they're laying people off.
Right. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not too intuitive.
Yeah. And Call of Duty actually would have and will in the future, I'm sure, if they end up doing it, will actually bring more people back to Game Pass, not for the new
Yeah.
game, for your old ones
Yeah.
that are not super accessible or insanely overpriced on your store still
Hmm.
that people do
Good
want to play. Like
Now,
me,
wait,
I want to play
question.
the old campaigns. Yeah, what's up?
I have a genuine question. Once
Yeah.
Microsoft does the whole Steam thing, right, under Xboxes,
Yeah.
would that in theory also potentially cannibalize Game Pass?
Big oof.
Yes, but also I would think maybe at first, but I don't think long
Maybe.
term, because what'll happen there is it's basically just going to be games that you own, so you'd still have to
Yes.
own the games,
Yeah.
True.
and so you'd have to still buy them on Steam. So think of it that way: if a game
Mm.
comes out and it's on Steam, but it's also on Game, like at the same time, if it hits both services simultaneously, are you going to really go buy it on Steam just to play it on your Xbox, or are you going to just get Game Pass
Mm.
for 1/4 of the price to
Well,
play it on your
Mm.
Xbox?
and here's the thing
Fair.
too, is like you're gonna see a lot of people just sitting here playing it on the Game Pass until it goes on sale, because the Game
Yeah.
Pass does
That's
not
also
include
true.
the Game Pass does not include
So many
DLC.
variables, man. What the hell?
Yeah, it is. It is really going to become this whole like. I like the idea of the Steam integration, but
Some
on a business standpoint, I
hodgepodge.
think I think it's really messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean,
All right.
it still can be cool at the same
Hold up.
time. But yeah, I think
Pause.
it's going to be a lot.
Pause, guys. I have the best idea.
yeah.
Steam integration on the Switch 2.
That shit ain't happening, bro.
Oh, of course not. But
yeah,
How many people will be livid when Steam games are on Nintendo's platform and not the other way around?
right.
I will love
yeah.
that. People are gonna be people will be losing their shit. I'll
So-
love it.
You know what I would love about that though? I have one thing about that.
Hmm.
If they
Yeah.
ever did that, the amount that you could laugh at Steam Deck owners.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. It
I
be the
would
funniest shit
genuinely-
ever.
I would genuinely love that.
Granted, the Switch already has the ability to do translation layers. Steam
Yeah.
Proton.
Mm,
That's
Yeah,
all I'm
yeah.
gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
So
So
It's frameworks there.
that's there.
I
It'll never
want-
happen.
I want to
if it
end
never happens, it'll
this-
be hilarious.
Yeah.
I want to end this on a different note. Okay. So I have
Yep.
a question for you two. What is something good that you are wanting to see in the next 2 weeks for the gaming industry? What are what's some info that you guys want to hear about? What is like things that maybe you're not expecting it, but you would definitely you want to call it now that this is going to happen this week?
Okay, calling it and then just wanting it are very different. Calling it means I have some grounds that it could happen.
I know.
Wanting is just wishful thinking.
Both.
Calling
With-
is
I'm
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 gonna
asking
get the Switch 2 tomorrow, so that's calling. Wanting, I want a Nintendo Direct.
Nintendo Direct, actually, yeah. And I do
So-
think we are due for one at this point.
Definitely.
So we're looking at maybe a second Nintendo Direct or another Nintendo Direct coming up soon.
An
What else are we thinking?
actual Nintendo Direct,
Yeah, like a general
because they
one.
did the Donkey Kong one, which is cool, but like a legitimate one for like future Switch 2 stuff.
Where's Metroid Prime 4?
Yeah, Prime 4, dude. Give me my release. I'll play it on the Switch 1. Just give me Prime 4.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
All right. Um. So I think that kind of wraps that up then, right?
I think so.
Pretty much.
Okay. So, best idea: join the realm immediately. Well, Bulborb, you see here. No.
Hmm.
I
You see,
have
about that,
about
no.
about that.
How about
No.
How about no?
So I think I need to rearrange my room honestly because my monitor is falling off.
It's fucking sweltering in here, bro.
There we go.
I am gonna
Agreed.
die.
All
It
right,
was like
guys.
105 yesterday.
So
Yeah.
to wrap this up, that kind of completes our podcast for the day. We kind of ran. What was that? 2 hours?
Like an hour and a half, I want to say.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hour and a half.
Yeah. Stream started 109 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're gonna go ahead and stop here. I don't know if I'm hopping into Minecraft or not because I've got to figure out what's going on. Why isn't your realm loading? I don't know. Mine disconnected. It could be that Minecraft Realms is dead. It happens every so often.
I added word.jpg to the realm. Sorry.
But yeah, so just quick highlight. Next week, we're probably not doing a podcast. I think this is gonna definitely be like a every other week. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like. And we're just
bi-weekly
gonna
sort of deal.
Unless a
I
direct
think-
happens between now and next week.
Yeah, yeah. I think if we get a direct, then it's probably worth doing one.
That's
Yeah.
fair. That's fair. But outside,
But other
and
than that, yeah.
even then,
Mhm.
though, we're not doing it next week because that would be the Thursday. We would get the direct on Thursday.
Oh,
That's
true. We
true.
don't really do
Yeah.
directs.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
So we're
Mhm.
not gonna
No,
have
it'll be
a
Thursday mornings. Yeah, you're right.
yeah. So we're
Sure.
not gonna be doing podcast next week. We're gonna be picking that back up. We're gonna just be doing it every other week. It feels like.
Yeah.
Spiky wants to call this the Twisted Podcast.
I'm down.
I mean, yeah, that's pretty fitting.
Might as well.
It tracks.
It tracks, right? With that though, guys, we've got Ryan and Wilson here. Thank you guys for hopping in and chatting with us in this
Of
lovely
course.
gaming news podcast that we're gonna start calling Twisted RTW podcast, Ryan Taylor Wilson podcast.
The RTW show.
The
Hold up.
RTW.
That is too on the nose.
Really twisted
Name
wrestling.
pending.
Really twisted. Name pending, yes. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead
Oh
and
my
end
God.
off here. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day.